science and he got 99%. And when he got 99%, he applied to IIT and he got into IIT, got top 100 rank in IIT. But they refused to take him because they said, how will we keep him? How will he walk to class? How will he eat? How will he complete the syllabus? So he took a gap year and he applied to MIT in America. And he's the first Indian who got a full scholarship to MIT. And he studied astrophysics. And he got a gold medal in astrophysics. And then they said, Google, NASA, Oracle, HP, everybody said, Shrikant, come and work with us. He said, no, I'll go back to India. And he came back. He started a company called Bolland Industries. Today it's over a 250 crore company. They hire 3,000 people, out of which 1,500 are blind or severely handicapped. Nothing will change in our country if politics doesn't change. And I want to just mention 2-3 points about political reform. When I look at the elections of 2014, 84% of the time, the richest candidate won the Lok Sabha seat. And 100% of the time in India, 100% of the time, the poorest candidate fighting from the Lok Sabha lost his deposit in the election. The poorest candidate fighting in that Lok Sabha seat. It has led me to ask an important question. Has money become the only arbiter of success in Indian politics today? And has democracy thus been compromised? All of you today have questions regarding the nation, and you have important voices, and you want to voice your favor or discontent. But you can't. You can't because your voice doesn't reach the top. There are over 60 countries in the world today where there is a petition system, and I want a petition system to come into India. A petition system means that when a certain amount of people, in England it is 100,000, in certain countries it's 50,000, when so many people do a collective signature on any issue, Parliament is bound by law to discuss that issue for 1 hour in the next session. And I want that to be there in India. I want the students of Hyderabad to have a right to decide what is discussed in the Indian Parliament. I want you to be part of the narrative, not just be subjects to a ruling class. And I want that to happen. We have elections coming up in India. In fact, in India, sadly, we always have elections coming up, some election or the other. And the truth is that the reason that corruption, one of the reasons that there is corruption in our country is so that people can use that money to win elections. And I want a system where that does not happen. It is not enough to say that we will pass a law to curb how much money you can spend, because frankly nobody obeys that law. I was in Norway, in Scandinavia, and I saw a very interesting scheme that they had done. They have put no limits on the amount of money that you can spend. But what they have done is control the market for that money. How? The entire election from start to finish is 5 days. There are no TV ads allowed, no newspaper ads allowed, no hoardings, no billboards, and there is no public assembly of more than 500 people allowed. If you have a debate like this in India, if you curb timing of elections, you will curb obviously the amount of money you can spend during that time. If you don't allow TV and print advertising, see, many people who are sitting here today may be brilliant and may be the right leaders for Hyderabad and Telangana, but sadly you're not going to get a choice. because you're not going to get a chance, rather, because you don't have money backing you. I want a future India where a person's ideas, thoughts, and commitment for the country matter, not just the amount of energy they can generate by the amount of resources that they have. I have come here today to form a relationship so that you can tell me what issues are worth fighting for, what issues concern you as young people, and what issues you feel will shape your future and that you're concerned about. I want to end my speech by just saying one thing. Most of you here are going to go on to become wildly successful in the future. However, we have to stop simply thinking of our own